long time, Jesse. But we're back. It's about damn time.
I know. Thought you fired me for a minute. I was really upset.
No.
Putting applications into other podcasts. Apparently that's not the way it works. And, they don't see you. You don't interview for that. So.
Well, luckily, it's time for the enthusiast.
Yes! Oh my god!
What's up, everybody? We are back. Unfortunately, we took a week break. It wasn't something we wanted to do. Just that's kind of how the cards fell. Had a rough time scheduling and work and other family things happened.
Don't you blame this on me.
I'm not blaming anything on you.
Don't blame anything on me.
I didn't say your name at all.
Don't even blame that haircut on yourself, man.
What?
I don't know what I'm saying. I missed it. Been sitting down here doing the podcast by myself, not recording anything. Just talking into a mic that's not plugged into nothing.
I'm one of your hosts, Will Zabo. Alongside me, as always, is the man that I can't ever replace, Jesse Nazario.
That's right. That needed to be said.
How's it going? We haven't seen each other in a while.
It's been a while.
We've talked. Haven't seen each other. It's been so long. Your hair's grown.
That is true.
I've noticed.
I start a new job Monday, so I have to cut it. It's a big boy job. Not that my last job wasn't a big boy job, but this is like my career.
Okay.
So I got to cut it tomorrow, so I'm letting it grow as long as I can now. Also, beat Wolfenstein while you were gone. Picked it up and beat it in that time frame because this is all Black Friday. It was $25.
Yeah, I still haven't beaten it.
So
I haven't really had much time to play it, to be honest.
Well, here's the difference between me and you. You've been playing it and you get frustrated, stop playing it, and I was playing it, I got frustrated, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna put the difficulty down. So I would drop it to Daddy, can I play? Get through that section and bring it right back up to medium or hard, and that's what I ended up doing. Surprisingly, though, I seen you play it already, but I'm not gonna ruin it for anybody else. I'll just say the court room.
I hate that. That
hardest
was the worst
part in the game.
Yes. That part, and I think that was the part I told you about, where it auto-saved me surrounded by guys with 5 health. So no matter what, as soon as it would load, I just died. So thankfully a patch came out for the game, and it completely reset the checkpoint, but it was just like before the trial, so I just had to redo that fight. But that was nice. But I hated that part. That part almost made me quit the game.
Yeah, but that honestly is the hardest part of the game. Even the end part, which is pretty difficult, had nothing on that. I don't know what they were. I know what they were doing.
Yeah.
But it was not fun.
No.
I'll put it that way.
I kept running around in circles.
Yeah, but overall though, I did enjoy that game though.
Such a beautiful game too.
The coolest thing in it though, besides it just being a really well done game, in my opinion, I think it got a 9.5 in Game Informer and everywhere else. Mm-hmm. I would have given it a 10. To me, it was a solid game. The coolest thing though that they added in it is the original Wolfenstein is in the game in the arcade. I thought that was really brilliant. Like
it was in the first game too.
Yeah, and that's just really neat.
Yeah.
But I was so surprised because they really could have had a one-dimensional character. And he really isn't. And especially if you do some of the side quests and some of the side cut scenes when you're in the submarine, you get so much depth with your characters. So
I agree. I also really like the supporting cast in this one.
Oh, they're incredible, man.
Yeah, so good.
Even the mentally challenged, giant dude, even he's incredible. But I love all the characters. Every side character has that moment of breakout, too, throughout the game. And I think that's great. But I think who stole the show was a girl from Mad TV, the one that plays the new leader of the Resistance, the black lady. She was incredible,
She was really good.
Chills some of the scenes she gave.
I will say, she got it handed to her by that one fat white chick when she kept calling her a Nazi.
Yeah, that was what I'm talking about. That was her breakout scene in the game.
Yeah.
But they all have that breakout moment. But I'm really in love with this game. I thought it was great.
the guy with the robot arm, he had me cracking up all the time.
Yeah.
Because he could never control it, and he touched the girl's boob that he, like, was in love with. Ruined his chances. It was so great.
So...
What else have you played? Oh, you saw Spider-Man Homecoming finally.
I did.
Because I remember we were supposed to talk about that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But we did. So, what'd you think? I remember... we talked about it on the phone, but...
I didn't like it. Like, I was really disappointed because I wanted to like it because I hate on Marvel so much. So I didn't want to be like another Marvel movie I hated. But I was just disappointed with it. First off, there's been 3 Spider-Man franchises. And I know that's not Disney's fault. I know that's not. Get him out of high school. This is getting ridiculous. Like, stop. I don't know where this whole idea came from, and people to this day say it to me when I argue with them about it, where Peter Parker was a kid in the comics. Yes, he was for the first 6 months of the issues, and then he graduated. Like, that is not Peter Parker.
And then he had a job at the Daily Bugle.
He's a scientist. Like, it drives me insane that like it keeps taking him back to high school. And I'm sorry, but I preferred Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I thought overall he was a better Spider-Man.
I agree. I will say Andrew Garfield as a Peter Parker wasn't the best.
No, he was a hipster.
But
nobody likes hipsters.
Is Spider-Man the best to date?
I still look at this scene in Amazing Spider-Man 2, and that wasn't even a great movie. In the beginning, when he's fighting with a rhino in the Mack truck, and he's like, "Oh, do you want me to drive for you?" and like joking around, and that to me that was so
That's
Peter
Spider-Man.
Parker, yeah. Or
whereas,
Spider-Man, excuse me.
Whereas it's funny because Tom Holland's actual Spider-Man reminds me a lot of what's his name? Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker, where he just felt awkward. Like,
right.
Even when he's smart mouthing and joking off, in this movie compared to Civil War, it kind of felt a little more forced, and it felt like it was awkward. Like,
yeah.
It wasn't a natural dialect, and he's not a natural smart mouth. You know what I mean? He's trying to. It's like when he puts on the mask, he's trying to be someone else. Whereas I feel like Peter, when Peter puts on the mask, technically he feels free.
Yeah, like he can
finally
be
who he is.
Yeah,
But
I agree with that completely.
But Peter Parker himself, before he had the mask, was so weak, and he was always bullied that he felt he couldn't say and do the things that he always wanted to.
And then another thing is, I'm a huge Vulture fan. I think Vulture is an incredible character.
Oh, you like the Scavenger?
And that wasn't the Vulture at all. And one of the things that annoyed me completely was one of the best things about the Vulture is how he got his name, how Norman Osborn got mad at him and was like, "Get out of here, you old buzzard." So he came up with this elaborate suit and everything, attacked Norman Osborn and was like, "I am what you called me, the Vulture." And he's like, "I called you a buzzard." And like, you could have done that amazing scene, but instead,
yeah,
they made.
Well, they haven't even really brought Norman Osborn in at all.
First off, Michael Keaton's not a villain. Okay, that didn't make any sense. I never once felt like he was a villain. And I understand number 2.
You almost feel bad for him.
Number 2, like, the jump he makes in the beginning of the film from "I'm a construction worker" to "I'm bad." Like, what? The only scene where
Peter, if you tell anyone.
The only scene I would say the movie is worth it, and if you haven't seen this movie by this point, something's wrong with you, is when he interrogates Peter in the car.
That was a really good scene.
Amazing scene. The only I give them 10 points for just that scene, but oh, and you know what I liked about it, and this is a complaint I've always had, and I enjoyed this. I've always got mad that high school Peter Parker was able to make such a nice suit. In The Amazing Spider-Man, they try to show how he made it with the swimsuit. I like how his homemade suit just
was crap.
Yeah, it looked ghetto. I love that.
Yeah.
But I hated the Tony Stark Spider-Man suit.
At the end?
No, the one he was wearing throughout the entire movie. With his own version of Jarvis, and like, it ruins Peter Parker.
I agree.
It was so bad.
I agree. And you know what I also didn't like? That Peter wasn't the one that found out that he had the training wheels on for the suit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, Peter, you would have found, like, a real Peter Parker would have found that out.
Absolutely.
Not his best friend who's just sitting there messing with things.
I felt like this movie was necessary for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's why I'm not completely upset with it. Mm-hmm. It made sense on the direction they want to go for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But as an actual Spider-Man fan, I feel like Sam Raimi did a better job. I feel like Marcus Webb did a better job in telling an actual Spider-Man story. And that's the big issue with Spider-Man going into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Spider-Man is one of those huge characters that has such a huge rogue gallery. You could make a whole cinematic universe just based off of Spider-Man's universe, between the symbiotes, between, you know, Silver Sable, the Sinister Six. Like, you could do that, but
I mean, let's be honest, some of Spider-Man's villains also influence a lot of other things too. Like, Mysterio was the main part of Old Man Logan.
Yep.
The whole cause of it, technically.
I mean, one of Spider-Man's villains literally became the archenemy of another Marvel character, the Kingpin.
Yes.
Became Daredevil's archenemy, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Was there anything else this week?
Oh, I started watching Punisher on Netflix.
What do you think?
As first Marvel show I've liked in a long time, actually.
Really?
Yes.
I've heard mixed things on it, but
if you are a Marvel fan and go in looking for that Marvel lore, you will not find it here. It is a straight up.
It's its own thing.
It's its own thing. Like I'm episode 10 in it, and they've never even mentioned. They haven't mentioned Daredevil. They haven't mentioned the cinematic universe, Thor, anything. Like, this is its own story, and I really like that. Plus, what's his face? The guy that plays Frank Castle.
The guy who also
plays Shane.
Yeah.
I'm attracted to him now, physically and emotionally. I just think he's incredible as that Frank Castle. Like, I really like him. I didn't think anybody was going to top Ray Stevenson, who played him in Warzone, but I really like him, actually.
Okay. Xenoblade. I picked it up.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I played quite a little bit.
Collector's edition, rich boy.
I did get
the money bags.
I did. I was actually disappointed with the collector's edition, though. Not with the content in it, but with the packaging. Europe got a way better collector's edition package than we did.
I thought you got the Europe one.
No, I just got regular America. I honestly didn't know there were two different ones. I thought they were the same until mine came in the mail. And then I was like, this sucks. It's literally just a piece of cardboard. Whereas the Europe one is like this really nice box. And both sides pull open, and then the book's there, and it's just
beautiful. I saw that one.
So beautifully packaged. But yeah, we didn't get that. The game though, I will say, in my opinion, dock mode, it is the best looking Switch game out.
I've heard about that.
I definitely think it is. In my opinion, it is also the best Switch game out.
Okay.
Because I think for an RPG that has really great mechanics, it's a lot of fun. But it also has this amazing thing that most Nintendo games don't have, and that's a really good story.
That does make a difference. That does make a difference. Well, what I appreciate, I watched the IGN review on it. What I appreciated, they said that although this is a continuation of the story, you don't have to play it. You don't have to play it right. This is its own. But I am really excited about it. It's just, it wasn't a day one for me. You know?
I can understand.
Wasn't day one.
Didn't have possessing hats.
No, that makes a difference.
Yes.
And so, enough to keep the Switch for you? Is it enough? Did it wet your whistle?
It's kept me interested in my Switch. I do play it a lot more right now, but now I'm constantly worried about, okay, well, how long does this last?
See, that's my issue. I played Breath of the Wild. You know that one went crazy. Finished it. Didn't really touch my Switch for a while. Picked up games here and there.
But they never
kept my attention. Mario Odyssey came out, kept my full attention. Finished that game. Same thing. Back to dry. Even picking up games like Skyrim, stuff like that, I'm like, just nothing's kept my attention except for those two mainstream Nintendo releases.
Okay. Anything else that we want to get to before we get into the news?
I got a VR.
You did. What do you think of it?
Okay, so the VR is way cooler than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
It works way better than I thought it would. I've heard it makes a difference if you have a Pro, so definitely have a Pro. The issue with it is still price. It's because I got it for a big discount. I got it for like $200 with everything. For somebody who's going to pay full price with everything $600, it just seems way too gimmicky, and there's just not enough standing on it.
Okay.
And that's my only complaint, but it's really good.
Okay.
I mean, it works. It works like a charm. Like, you put that helmet on, you're somewhere else.
Huh.
I went to another planet. I went to Gotham. Was under the ocean. You know what I mean? So,
that's awesome.
It is really nice.
So, you would say probably... Well, I know that they're discounting it for the holiday. I don't remember what price it's going to be for the holiday. I can't remember if it's $300 or $250. Well, would you say it's worth picking up?
For $300, I would say it's worth it for $300. It's that $600 price that was just like, that's another system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's more money than a system right now.
That's more money than the Xbox X.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
The One X, sorry.
It's and like games like Farpoint that came out on it, they're amazing. Like that's a must play for anybody that loves first persons. But like I said, are you willing to spend $600 just to play that one game on it? You know?
Yeah. You know what game I was actually really into for a while? Actually, and this has nothing to do with VR, so I'm sorry. LA Noire. I was playing that again, and I've been really into that. And it's funny though because it's not very beautiful compared to some of the other games that are out, but like it's just such a really good game.
It really is. The only issue I have with that game is how empty the open world was. Because you know,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I auto drive everywhere. I just let my partner drive.
I drove everywhere just because I wanted to do the
robberies and all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So back to Xeno Chronicles. How do you feel? What did it get? It got an 8, didn't it?
It got an 8. I would give it higher than that. I do think some people are looking at it a little. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me because the complaints I heard people say about it, I don't feel like they've read the tutorials.
Okay.
Because one of the complaints I heard a lot of was you'll have a quest and it never really tells you if the quest is actually above or below you. I read that and
I heard that in one of the reviews, yeah.
And actually it does tell you there is an arrow. Literally an arrow on the quest icon that points up if it's above you or down if it's below you. If there is no arrow, that means you're on the same level as it. And that's literally within the first 20 minutes of the game that you get that tutorial that tells you that there are arrows on the quest icons. So it's
That's really weird because the IGN review complained about that.
Yes.
And you think a big company like IGN that people go to reviews would have figured that out.
Another thing that kind of bothers me is I hate when review companies like IGN or something knock a game for one thing, but another game is praised for that same thing. Like they complained a lot about how open the world felt and that you had to walk everywhere. And you had a few fast travel points, but you still really had like these distances to walk. It's like, well, Breath of the Wild had the same thing.
Yeah, well, identical.
Yes. Yet for some reason that game was praised by it and got a 10. Whereas Xenoblade Chronicles, you said that was one of the negatives.
So you should think they should have inserted Link into this game.
Apparently, if you would have had Link, it would have, or at least a Link costume, it probably would have put the game up there.
I mean, to be honest, it looks gorgeous. One of the things I did like I hear about in a review, and you can either confirm or deny it, was I heard the combat is so simple at first. You're like, oh, this is too easy, until you really get into it, and then you're like, this is some deep shit.
Yeah,
you know?
It does get deep, and it is kind of like the game kind of has training wheels on you at first. You know, you're playing it and you're like, oh, this is easy. Even the first boss, you really don't have to use too many special abilities. He's not even hitting you very hard. It's almost like you know it's a tutorial boss. And then it kind of feels like maybe about a little after the 20-hour mark, maybe actually probably way before that, maybe about after the 10-hour mark. It feels like they didn't really tell you, but they just take the training wheels away and you're just like, oh, what's going on? You get like a lot of blades, and you got to make sure you have the right ones equipped to make sure you're doing the right status.
Yeah, that's why you have to make sure. Like the thing I liked about the review is they said that you would go into a battle, get destroyed, go in, switch up the blades, and then before you knew it, you had the upper hand. So
yeah,
I thought it was really neat, man.
Anything else? Anything else?
No, that's it.
Yeah, that is it. You know what? Then let's just dive right into
the news.
Oh man, see, this is what happens. Take a week off.
We were close. I'll give it that.
All right. Well, I'm sorry.
First thing on the news: how's your Christmas shopping going?
The fiance's done.
Ooh.
But that's about.
I haven't even started on my wife. That's a lie. I got her 2 things.
Yeah. So she's done, but that's about it. This holiday's been a bit chaotic. Been working a lot, and a lot of my shopping's had to be online. So I've had to hope things fit and just work.
Right, understand.
How about you?
What, shopping holiday? I got like a million kids. No, I'm not even wearing clothes, man. Got like a dent into one of them, I think. So, you know, that's about it.
All right. Well, let's talk about something else that's a little more Christmassy. It's at least red.
Yes.
Hellboy.
Woo!
So,
see the more pictures they released of him this time in the trench coat?
I did.
His hair's down. No ponytail this time, huh?
No, but
No
I'm
bun.
curious if he is gonna get the man bun. Like, I'm curious if it's just a.
It does look very Ron Perlman-ish still.
Yeah, he still does.
But I'm definitely glad that they did not go the CGI route on it. You know what I mean? And we're
They
getting
went with makeup and practical effects.
Do you think it's too close to the other franchise to, stand apart yet?
You mean like in time?
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why I'm going to say no is because I feel like not enough people even watched the other franchise.
I love that movies.
I did love the first one. I liked it. The second one,
Golden Army, I love so much, it makes me love the first one.
Okay, I can agree. Golden Army, in my opinion, is one of the best superhero movies
Agreed.
ever made.
Do you think, depending on when this movie takes place, the tone of the film and the direction of the villain, they can completely have a different film? Like, I'm thinking, as long as this doesn't feel like the thing that was cool about the first one is he was such a crazy, massive demon character that was funny and fun, lighthearted, and that's what made those first two movies stand out so much. I think they should have a different tone. Like, maybe this is before he joined the whatever team he's on, or.
See, I feel like the problem is Hellboy, I feel like, isn't a well enough known character that they can't do, like, his origin story, or they can't do. I feel like, we still have to see the whole, the doctor found him. We have to see, he's not Spider-Man.
No.
Where even though we all know Spider-Man's backstory, for some odd reason, they still keep giving it to us.
Right.
But I don't think we're going to get anything super unique. I think it's pretty much going to be the first comic. Well, the first trade, should I say. Because not the first actual issue. But the very first batch of comics for storyline. And then maybe we'll get the Golden Army again. For the second.
Do you think they should do a little more of a different approach to his combat? Because in the last two films, he was very gun based.
Yes.
The only time he got physical was when he was punching a monster in the face or anything like that. But there was a lot of sword play. Do you think this is the more like Hellboy versus Spawn? Remember that comic?
Yes.
Where that was just a straight fist fight. You think that's what
I do hope they show him more as like a brute. Because in the comics, he's strong. He's a strong guy. But the movie didn't really show that. And I understand why. Because he had a lot of makeup on. Some of it was even rubber to really give him the indents and stuff like that. I get it.
And Ron Perlman was an older guy.
He is.
He was not a young man when he took that role on.
Yeah. But I'm hoping that with this one, they're willing to show how strong he is. And really get him physical.
Well, that's what I was hoping with the hair down. You were seeing like this is going to be like that more because I really remember like I said, that fight where he hunched over and he's using his big stone hand to leap off, and do crazy moves. So yeah. I want something like that. But my question is, do you think we're going to get a villain, a more physical villain because of that? Because that was the issue in the first movie. All we got was the brought back from the dead Nazi. You know what I mean? The sword fighting Nazi. And then the giant squid, probably a Nazi too. It's just at the end. So there was never that big physical fight because it was either regular people that were Nazis or a giant CGI monster. So I'm hoping...
That was probably a Nazi.
Yeah. I'm hoping to get something that's like equal in size with a fight.
Now, see, the problem, I think, is... Granted, a lot of people didn't see the Golden Army. I think the most physically present character that Hellboy kind of has is the Elf Prince.
Oh, yeah.
He is such a, he's so quick.
And Golden Army did him perfect. So
yeah. So I can't see them opening with him because he's I think he's a bigger character to that universe, and I feel like he is definitely a second or even a third movie.
Yeah.
Villain.
And a trilogy kind of villain.
Yeah.
I could see that. There's a lot of directions they could go, but I mean, you know what I mean. Like,
I do get what you mean.
Versus,
there are monsters that they could use too, obviously, but I don't know Hellboy enough that I know them by name, so I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, the one with the hand and the teeth.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. Just the way I'm thinking about it is, think about a Superman movie where he takes on Lex Luthor, and it's like, oh, he fought a giant missile. And then think about Man of Steel when he went toe-to-toe with Zod. You know what I mean? Which ending fight do you prefer?
I could agree with that. Oh yeah, but we have a release date for it, finally. January 11th, 2019.
Ooh.
You excited?
Yeah, that's a weird date, but I'm excited.
It is weird. Do you think they're trying to get out of the See, I don't know, because holiday isn't ever really a packed place for movies either.
After New, I mean, it might. It all depends. It matters when the trailer drops, and I'm hoping that they wait a while before they drop the trailer on us.
I know what they're gonna do. They're trying to do it. Start the summer blockbusters in the beginning of the year. I don't know if you've noticed, but summer blockbusters have been starting earlier.
No. Back in the day, it was June. Now, come April.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? But I'm hoping the trailer isn't too early for it. Don't make it too late. But I think one of the best things Disney did was like everybody was like, wait a minute, Star Wars is coming out in a couple months. How come we haven't got a trailer? And Disney was like, oh yeah, bada boom.
Yeah.
And it got people talking about it right before the film. Versus Justice League, which released their trailer, like a year and a half out?
Yeah.
And it was just the longest
And they
process.
kept getting multiple trailers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel like if the movie's coming out January, probably the best time would be 2018, that summer, drop your first trailer.
I could agree with Summer. Because the problem I think I have with Hellboy, and we already said this, is I think it's a movie that does constantly need to be getting buzz. I don't think there's someone that can pull a Star Wars and wait like 4 months beforehand and go.
No, but they also, like you said, they have to start. They have to use what they know. They have to start doing interviews. They have to do.
Yeah.
You got the guy from Stranger Things playing Hellboy himself. Use that Stranger Things fame. You know what I mean? Like, get him on Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon and what other Jimmy's on night nowadays? I don't know. Jimmy Stewart on nights? I don't know.
Jimmy's on the ice cream.
Right. Get him on the Jimmy's on the ice cream. The Jimmy's on the cars. I don't care. Whatever Jimmy it is, get him on there. Talking about trailers though, huh?
Yeah. So we knew this week a trailer was coming, and I was waiting for it all day Thursday.
I know they teased the crap out of it.
Yes.
What world do we live in now where the trailer gets a trailer? Like
it got three. It had three teaser trailers.
It did. It really did. And then the teasers were better, in my opinion, than the actual trailer.
I agree. So for this, it's the new Jurassic World movie. Jurassic World, what is
Fallen
it?
Kingdom.
Fallen Kingdom. Thank you. I couldn't even remember the name because I just want to forget it.
I feel like, first off, I feel like I'm worried about what this movie is because I feel like the trailer didn't know if it knew what it wanted to be. Like it was.
I feel like what happened was they were like, okay, Jurassic World sold. We really need to make another one. But we don't have the time to write a good story. What can we do?
Go to kids in elementary school and see what they say. A volcano. Oh, that's good. That's good.
How did the dinosaurs die, Jimmy? A volcano? That isn't true, but you might be onto something.
So the movie, the essential trailer says that Bryce Dallas Howard character, the redhead from the first film, she wants to go back to the island because a volcano's going off to save dinosaurs.
Yes. Now, some people seem against it. Some people seem for it. Chris
Pratt needs to be talked into this for some reason, even though he was so pro-dinosaur in the last film.
Yes.
By reminding him that Blue, the raptor that he raised, is alive there. So this time she's not in heels, though. I did notice that in the trailer. I peeped that. She's not in heels.
Yes.
So then you see him. You see this guy with a fro and glasses with them, and they're running from different things. And there's some fire, and the trailer to me is a big mess. It doesn't really know what story it wants to tell you. Obviously, in my opinion, the volcano going off is not the climax of the film because they would not give that away in the trailer. So to me, that's probably going to be midway through the film, and there's going to be another issue that has to be solved after that. My issue with it is Chris Pratt and her character didn't stay together. So I guess that's Jurassic Park theme. That if you went to that island, you will be alone for the rest of your life. Ian Malcolm went through like 40 wives.
No. What's his name got married at the end of the first one, and he was still married by 3.
Who's that?
The same woman. The main character, the doctor that was in the first.
Dr. Grant?
Yeah.
No, she was married to somebody else.
Right.
Damn, I'm telling you, man. You go to that island.
Because for some reason, I thought in my head that the boy that picks up the phone was his son, but no, he says the boy's name. He's like, go get your mommy.
Yep.
That's right.
So, that's the issue. Jeff Goldblum's in
he
the
is
trailer.
Back.
looking old, finally.
And he says life finds him.
Wait, do you think he's a glorified cameo, or do you think he's actually in the film?
I think he's just going to be a cameo.
Yeah, because I didn't see him on the island.
No.
And I do feel like this franchise is trying to get away from the original trilogy, even though you're obviously piggybacking off that. My issues with these films so far is you're going back to the same damn island again. Volcano. And the biggest complaint out of Jurassic World was too much CGI. Okay, and there was that horror element was gone.
Yes.
You know, like there was no
jump.
Yeah.
And I really think, honestly, in my opinion, it's been gone since the first movie.
So that was my big issue. So I know this new director came in and said we're doing more animatronics than we've ever done in the Jurassic Park film. So I was like, cool. But then I see the trailer, that volcano scene. I'm like,
there's no way those are.
Really? So you get rid of CGI dinosaurs, huh? What was that? Okay, because they're not a bunch of robots running down.
I really hope that they aren't robots and they just make us put our foot in our mouth. It's like, there are robots. You know how much money this cost us? Just so you people would shut up.
And then the other complaint I have, I don't even feel bad giving this away on the podcast because in the trailer, you see the part where he's in front of the little bubble from the first movie, and there's that dinosaur with horns coming at them.
And then the
T-Rex saves them. Why did you give it away in the trailer? That's a suspenseful part for a reason. Can you imagine if the first Jurassic Park, the ending where the T-Rex saves him with the raptor, was given away in the trailer? People would be like, oh, I guess I survived.
That's not the suspenseful part, because after the T-Rex is going to get him back from, and then a Spinosaurus is going to save him.
And then the Dominic Rex comes to save him.
What's that big water one that was in the first movie? I forget the name of it.
I don't even remember. Well, they say the main villain of this one is I forgot.
Volcano?
No, the Brachiacon, which is a long-necked meat eater that eats a lot of fish. And that's the one that's pursuing them throughout the film. So that's the one in the scene where you see him in the tunnel snapping at them. So I think the reason they're going with that is since this movie takes probably over a huge volcano ruins the island, they're going to be a lot in like the underground facilities, like in the first one where Samuel Jackson's arm was found.
Okay.
He's not dead, by the way. Just because you see he found his arm, don't mean he dead, okay?
You ain't wrong.
So, you might find him in this film. Like,
I've
been here with one arm all this time.
You see him with a spear and fish.
So, I think they picked that dinosaur, though, because that's the one that can hunt them. You know what I mean? Because that one's aquatic and walks on land, so, you know.
Okay.
Maybe. But we haven't seen much of that. All we saw was that little part, and I did read in the synopsis that's the main villain for the film, that dinosaur.
Okay.
So.
Not the volcano.
And just the whole
not
running,
the angry volcano.
Just the whole running from the volcano is like, if I won't forgive Chronicle of Riddick for outrunning the sunrise, I'm not gonna forgive Chris Pratt for outrunning the volcano. I'm not jumping on board that.
I can agree with that. So you gonna see it?
Nah, I don't know.
The problem is, I feel like it's like Transformers, man. Right now, I want to see it because I just want to see some dinosaurs on the screen. It's been long enough. But then I feel like by the time the next movie comes around... I was
very disappointed with Jurassic World, so I don't know. And I like Chris Pratt, but to me, he's not enough of a thing to sell me for a movie.
I feel like he's an actor who started with TV sitcoms, got big because of Guardians, and now is kind of not being very selective of the roles he's taking. I don't think he's being very smart with what roles he picks. You know what I mean? I think he needs to. He's a good actor. And I think he needs to prove that, but really all he's been taking are he's been pretty much the same character.
That's the issue. He's taking a lot of big blockbusters. He should Robert Downey Jr. it, where I took a big blockbuster like Iron Man. Now the rest I'm going to do is either comedies or independent dramas.
Yeah. That's
smart, because the only way you're going to identify him with a character is that big blockbuster. Iron Man, if he's not doing that type of film, he can be what other character he wants.
Be Andy Serkis. No one even knows Andy Serkis does anything.
Who is that guy? Is he the Claw? Is he Caesar? I don't know.
Is he Gollum? Let's move on though.
Talking about Robert Downey Jr., I didn't even mean that jump. Whoops.
I know. Infinity War.
The trailer came out for it.
It did. Last week.
Yes. Is that Thanos in the trailer or a purple Homer Simpson? Homer Simpson. I'll let you figure that out.
I hate that he doesn't have the helmet on.
What really annoyed me about that is not so much they didn't have a helmet, because this is the first thing I thought. I was like, where's his helmet? So they asked the director about that, and instead of saying, oh, we got Josh Brolin playing him, we don't want anything blocking that actor's face because he costs a lot of money, and just being a man, he goes, oh, well, the character's so evolved now, he feel like he surpassed armor. That was the director's excuse. You know what I did after that? I punched a wall. I was so angry.
He surpassed armor.
Are you kidding me? Stop. Stop it. Okay? Just stop.
All right, let's get into this trailer. Before we talk about the Homer Simpson of this. What'd you think? I wasn't impressed.
I was not impressed with the trailer.
And you know what really makes it sad to me? Marvel. This is what Marvel's been leading up to.
Correct. It's what makes me frustrated is I don't know, because when I first watched the trailer, I was like, didn't do anything for me. I don't know if I'm starting to hate it because of other people's reactions. Because people are losing their mind.
I agree.
And I'm like, why? What is?
What did you see that was so amazing?
Yeah, like there really wasn't anything in the trailer. It felt like every other Marvel movie, and I said that on somebody's Facebook when they were like, that trailer looks so amazing. I'm like, it looked like every other Marvel movie. They're like, what's the problem with that? And I was like, I feel like Marvel's the only franchise that can get away with that. Releasing the same exact film over and over. But Captain America was cool. I loved you with the beard. Your hair looks amazing, Chris Evans. I'll give you that. It's cool to see all the characters together. My biggest issue is like, literally, I feel like it was Marvel to their own horn. Like they were just showing characters, like, ooh,
yeah,
look at him. Oh, Black Panther said get him a shield. Oh, people are gonna repeat that all over online. Like that's all the trailer was.
I agree. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. Thanos didn't do anything that made me feel like in the trailer he's a big presence.
Correct.
And for some odd reason, there has to be this huge army battle going on too that I don't quite understand.
So I can understand because Thanos is bringing his crew with him. We only see one of them in the trailer. She throws a spear at Captain America. Mm-hmm. I know he has his crew. I agree with that. I am a little annoyed with the alien species because I really feel like this film, he's not going to do anything in it but like one thing towards the end. I honestly feel like this is going to be...
I feel like it's going to be a lot of him walking, trying to find out who has what Infinity Stones left. Because we did see him putting 3 in.
Yeah, so he has the one from Guardians, which was at the end left with the Nova Corps, so they're gone. Let's admit that.
Except Nova.
No, the Nova Corps is gone. Probably Nova too, buddy.
No. The whole story of Nova. He's the last of the Nova Corps.
No, he's done, buddy. Okay, no.
He's in Phase 5! Just give him a chance.
Let's see. He had the other one, which was left with Benicio del Toro's character, Dan Thor. It looks like he has that stone.
Yes.
And then the third stone, it looked like he was putting on was...
Now, it looks like Loki gives him a stone in the trailer.
The Loki
and I
stone.
believe that I believe it's Loki's stone.
So the only other two are the one that is in Vision's head,
yes,
which we've seen in the trailer, looks like it's getting pulled out.
Yes.
And then the other one is... we got Doctor Strange's time one.
Yes.
That one, we didn't know if he took it or whatever. The other stone has not showed up in the universe at all yet.
Apparently, it's rumored that's going to be in Black Panther.
What do you think, Sam?
That's what I heard.
What do you think?
Why can't he transform anymore?
I don't know. I don't care.
They show that he can transform though.
At the end, you've seen that. But Marvel has been known to like switch their characters in and out during trailers.
That's true.
The first time we saw the trailer for Age of Ultron, at the end, it was Thor, Captain America, Black Widow was standing with him when he's like anything else. When we saw the actual movie, Vision was there, Hulk was there, Quicksilver was there, Scarlet Witch. So they can take people in and out of trailers like they want. They got that Disney money.
That's true. I wish I had Disney money.
So all right, so let's go on to the villain. You know, Thanos.
Homer Simpson.
What was the big complaint about Justice League's villain?
Oh, he was all CGI.
Oh, a big CGI monster. So people seem to like Thanos, right?
Yeah.
So he's practical effects then, right?
Oh, he has to be.
It's got to be. That would make sense. So once again, we got a big CGI monster.
Mm-hmm. And world.
And he looks like Homer Simpson because they refuse to put a helmet on him.
But it's Marvel. That's why people love it.
Yes. So, do you remember a little movie? Wasn't a big deal. Avengers.
Yeah.
Okay. At the end of the
I think I heard of it.
at the end of the credits, what is the first thing we saw? It was
Scroll.
It was Thanos.
You sure?
It was Thanos.
Pretty sure it was a scroll.
It was Thanos.
I'm pretty sure that they're leading up to the scrolls at the end. That's why this whole thing between Fox and Disney is going on right now.
That Thanos we got versus what we see in the actual trailer.
Super different.
Yeah. So
I agree.
why do you? And me personally, I like that Thanos. The practical effects better in the end of the first Avengers movie. Why change that?
I think they wanted to make it look way more like the actor.
It does look just like Josh Brolin.
Because it didn't look like the original one. Didn't look like Josh Brolin because he wasn't casted as him yet.
Correct. It was, matter of fact, the Thanos we got in Guardians of the Galaxy didn't even look like Josh Brolin yet, even though he provided the voice only because he dubbed it after they had made the CGI Thanos already.
Yes.
So that one looked closer in line with the one we got at the end of Avengers
And it's funny because I think that one even looked better.
than the one we got.
Yeah. Because I do think while it does look a lot like Josh Brolin, I don't like how he looks anymore.
Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
It's a purple Homer Simpson came out. So, also really not a fan of the new Spider-Man suit in it. Oh, I just think I understand it's supposed to look like the Scarlet Spider-Man suit or the Iron Spider-Man suit, but even the Iron Man Spider suit I felt was cooler looking.
Iron
than this.
Spider suit was my favorite Spider-Man suit of all time. It was. My favorite now is probably Superior or 2099. I keep going back and forth.
I do like 2099.
But the Iron Spider-Man suit for the longest time was my favorite, and I really get upset when I look at that suit because it doesn't look anything like it, to be honest.
So, predictions. Who's going to die in this? We know there's going to be...
Cap.
Okay, Captain America. I'm thinking probably Peter Parker.
Okay.
Because I think they even showed it in the trailer.
Vision.
Oh, Vision for sure. Say goodbye to him.
Yeah.
Say goodbye. Anybody else you think is
Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch, all right.
It wouldn't surprise me if they kill Scarlet Witch because they might want... We know that right now Fox and Disney are talking. Maybe they want to finally be able to bring her back and call her a mutant eventually.
All right. Well, even in my opinion, one, they're breaking this film up into two. Number two, that literally they have something called the Time Stone.
Yeah.
So no matter who they kill,
they're going to come back.
They can come
That's
back.
the whole point of the Infinity War, anyways. People die. And come back.
So Hawkeye, I think, is not going to make it. One, because we haven't seen him in any of the trailers.
Yes.
So I think
It wouldn't surprise me if he's the first one.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think it's going to end with a big death. In my opinion, Peter Parker.
Okay, I don't think they're going to kill Peter off.
I think it would, just because it would shock fans. Like, in your opinion, he's a new character. He's a beloved character. Why would they do that? I feel like to me it'd be smart of Marvel, because if they kill Peter Parker off in this, in Marvel fans' minds, who's safe then?
See, I feel like the person that would be the shock factor right now, in my opinion, is Robert Downey Jr.
And see, I was thinking the same thing. The only issue with killing him off is
people might not go see the second one.
People might not go see the second one. And as much as I talk smack that he's in every single Marvel movie, there's a reason why. It's Robert Downey Jr. He is Tony Stark.
I agree.
Even in Homecoming, he was the best parts, in my opinion. He's just he's that character. He lives that character, and Civil War, same thing. I could almost see where he was coming from in Civil War. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not saying I didn't understand where Cap was coming for, but that was a hard job for any actor to turn the pro registration, on their side. And when he made it, that makes sense. So to me, it would not make sense to kill him off, only because, like you said, people might not see it.
Do you think Bruce Banner?
Could be another beloved character.
Maybe they're going to kill Hulk off and then bring him back, and that's why he can become Hulk again.
In Infinity War, Hulk and Bruce were separated.
Yes.
So that is a possibility, too.
Now, it makes sense for me, too, as to why they're trying to make it so that Bruce can't become the Hulk. A lot of people don't remember this, but Hulk is one of the few characters in the Marvel Universe that can actually beat Thanos one-on-one.
Correct.
He doesn't actually even need help.
Mm-hmm.
Hulk alone can beat Thanos. And it's weird to me that a lot of people are looking at this as Thanos is this huge and almighty character, when there are actually quite a few characters in the Marvel Universe.
I think they have a list of top 50 Marvel characters where you'd be surprised they could be.
And I think Spider-Man's even on it.
Yeah, but the thing that's crazy is a lot of people don't realize the reason he got the Infinity Gauntlet in the first place was so he could take them down. The Infinity Gauntlet, which, like I said, they kind of already moved it, was one of the big important things because it was the first thing that made Hulk bleed in the comics.
Yeah.
Not Thanos, but the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
So it could be, but you're absolutely right. Hulk is a tough character to do because of his untested strength and the fact that he's...
The more upset he gets, the stronger he gets.
So, am I going to see this movie? Of course. I'm going to run my mouth and say...
Well, what do you think they're going to do with Thor, too? Because he's another character that technically can go toe-to-toe with Thanos.
Well, I'm curious because at the end of... Well, I can't ruin. Damn it.
Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. Well, we know something happened in Thor Ragnarok, and the trailer gave it away because they show Thor, with but I'm curious on where that leads because at the end of that film leaves it open for what happened to Hulk. We see that he made it back to Earth somehow. Obviously, Thor was with the Guardians in that, so somehow they got separated. What happened to the rest of Thor's crew? You know what I mean? So I'm guessing that scene where you see Loki bowing down to Thanos and all those dead people around him, I'm guessing they're Asgardians that are dead.
Probably at Asgard.
Yeah, and Loki was like, "Oh wow, you killed all these people. Here you go. That's you, man. That's all you."
Okay.
But overall, this trailer, I remember watching the Age of Ultron trailer, and that trailer got me so much more hyped.
It did. And you know what also got me really hyped? Just the song. And it was Pinocchio.
Yes.
Just.
But I think what made that trailer stand out was we were so used to the Marvel formula, and that was the first trailer like, oh, this is a dark film.
Yeah, it did look.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't a dark film, but it looked like this was potentially the first dark film.
And the problem is Marvel now has done that a lot, where they make the movies look a lot darker than what they really are, and then it's just joke after joke after joke. And it's funny, I haven't even seen Infinity War yet, but I already can't feel like Thanos is a threat because I feel like I already know there's going to be 10,000 jokes before anything even happens.
So, but hey, here's hoping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, sometimes we're like, you know what? We can hope and a sequel will never come out. And then once in a while, a sequel just gets announced out of nowhere.
Mega Man.
He's a fighting robot.
11.
So insane, man. Where were you when you got the news?
I was working.
I was pooping.
And every so often when I'm at work, I check YouTube real quick for any new news, and I was like, Mega Man 11? What the?
Yeah.
And I clicked it, watched the trailer real quick, and I was like, oh my god. Why wasn't Mighty Number 9 this?
So I was pooping, checking my phone. That's what everybody does. Might be where you're listening to this podcast now. We don't know. And I saw it, and one, I love the look of the game. Two, I just feel like it came out of nowhere. Like,
yeah.
Do you think? I mean, it looks polished. What we've seen, it's a little bit out to date. When does it get released? Not until next year, correct?
It said late next year. Didn't even say when.
Yeah.
Now they didn't just announce that; they did also announce the entire X series is coming out. So I think that's what's going to come out early next year.
Right.
Hold us off until that.
So I'm shocked with the look of it. Obviously, it's going to be a really because what we've seen was very polished.
Yes.
So.
We didn't see many levels, though.
No. Do you think they've been working on it for a while? What kind of villains do you think we're going to see?
You know what I think they've been working on it? As soon as Mighty Number 9 hit its funding. I bet you as soon as that game got funded, and they were like, wow, there actually are people that want Mega Man. And then once they saw Mighty Number 9 fail, they were like, let's now show them that we can still do this, and let's make it right. So I'm hoping that, it's a good game.
I do enjoy it. It looks like a lot of the... power-ups you can get are just arm cannon stuff.
Yes.
It was like different extra abilities.
Bricks and stuff.
Yeah,
now, my only concern is pricing of this game because it does not look like it deserves to be $60.
No.
So I'm hoping it's no more than 30.
30. I mean, it also depends if it comes out and we find out that there's more to the game.
Okay.
Just that, we never know because this could be a small section. As we know, the game's probably going to be 8 levels long, or 10. 8 bosses, and then 2 final stages. So that would be a decent pricing for it, I agree. What's it announced on so far? Just Switch?
Switch, PS4, and Xbox One.
It could be. I mean, if they do digitally only, that would make sense, because if you do digital only, a lot of people are going to be upset.
That's true, but Sonic Mania was digital only.
Correct.
Even if you got the physical edition, you didn't get a game.
Yep.
You got a code. So it wouldn't surprise me if Mega Man goes that same route. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. In my opinion, as much as I love Mega Man is probably one of my favorite characters of all time. He's not as popular as Sonic is even today. You know what I mean? So
they're both blue.
You're right, but one is vastly more superior. Yet for some odd reason, people don't buy his games as much. That's Mega Man. Anyway,
so but I'm hoping what would be really cool is if there's a mix in gameplay that maybe every level is 2D side world, but there's a 3D hub world. That'd be really cool.
What if it's actually Mega Man Legends and there's an arcade machine that you're playing 11?
Could be. I would lose my mind. That would be amazing. But I don't know. As long as you don't do another X7 where you try to make a 3D Mario or Mega Man game that feels 2D still.
Yeah, I can agree.
That's fine. That's fine. Must play though for you?
Oh yeah, I'm getting it day one.
I do.
Unless it's $60 and that's just what it is, then I'm not getting it.
I am really excited for the X collection. I'm hoping that they don't slap us in the face and break it up into two separate games again.
Doesn't sound like it. They did say it's just the X collection. They said it just sounds like it's one thing.
But there is a lot of X games. What is it? Up to X8, yeah.
So
and not to mention, and then after X4, if I'm not mistaken, they're all PS1 games.
Yes.
So and they all looked. Oh no, X7 was a PS2, and so was X8.
You're right. Yeah, X7 because they also made the X collection on GameCube and the.
So that's what it worried about me because the GameCube. Remember, the GameCube got the Mega Man collection. It had every Mega Man game in it.
Yes.
And then when they re-released the Mega Man Legacy collection, I was like, oh, it's gonna be the same thing. And then
they dipped it in the two, which I actually personally I love Mega Man, but I still don't own Legacy Collection 2.
It's 4 games, you know, and it doesn't make any sense in my opinion.
It's the same price as the first Legacy Collection.
And not to mention, they got rid of the best thing about Legacy Collection 1, which was the save anytime. With those Mega Man games, you need that because me personally, I'm not great at Mega Man. I know you love those games.
Yeah,
but the only way I made it through those was there was some ridiculous jumps where I'd stop, save. And then jump, stop, save, and that's how I get through those jumps. When I went to go play 2, realized they took them out, I was like, well, this is done. Never going to play these again. So I hope they fix that in the X collection. I'm excited only because, as much as I love Legends, the X series was one of my favorites.
Okay.
I started out with X4,
the
first one on PlayStation, and then I played them all the way
through. See, I felt the story of X was better, but the gameplay wasn't as good as the regular series. I felt the regular series just had it down, whereas X always felt like it was a little slidey.
I can see that.
Like a little floaty to me, you know what I mean? Whereas regular Mega Man is very precise. It's kind of like Mario. Mario is very precise.
X, you always did feel like when you jumped, you went a couple extra steps. I agree with that.
Yeah. So where I liked X, don't get me wrong, because it also
Mavericks were amazing.
It introduced characters like Zero and stuff like that.
Sigma,
Axel. But I just felt the gameplay was a little lacking. And there were some levels that they started to experiment with X that I didn't like the motorcycle one and stuff like that. But that's about it.
Well, X4 is still my favorite to this day.
Okay, Mega Man 2 is my favorite Mega
Man. I loved X4. I played the crap out of the game. It was one of the only ones. I literally finished all the X's, but I always either finished it as Mega Man or Zero. I never finished it both. I think X4 is the only one where I finished it as both.
Okay.
So
let's talk about another game that's getting re-released.
Ooh, is it attractive?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're gonna like it.
Is it hairy?
Yeah, it's hairy.
All right.
Bayonetta 1 and 2.
Woo!
Coming to the Switch.
So this is a re-release of the Wii U version. It's literally a re-release of the Wii U version. Looks almost exactly the same.
I don't think they're upscaling it at all.
I think it's cool that it's coming with the first one again. I think it's cool that they're re-releasing it. The only issue I have with it is they showed the case of it. I think the case is missing something because I guarantee 2 weeks before release, when they re-release that case, it's going to show a little white thing on top that says SD card required.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Especially when the first game is a download only on it.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? I mean, is it cool? I mean...
So I was kind of excited at first because I've never played either of them. So I didn't really.
I love those games.
I didn't know how to feel, but then I instantly got annoyed because I know it's going to be $60, and I'm not paying.
That's my issue.
I'm not paying $60 for another port.
I went to go pick up.
And someone argued with me. They were like, "I'm sorry to interrupt you." But someone argued with me that, well, you're getting 2 games with this, so think of it as 2 games for $30. I was like, I can get the first Bayonetta on PC, Xbox 360, PS3, or the Wii, I believe it also came out on, for under $10. Someone said the Wii, I think, to me. But I think it was only those PC, PS3, and Xbox 360. But for under $10. And Bayonetta 2, I don't care what price it is on the Wii U. It is not worth $50. It's not worth $60 right now. It should be no more than $30. It was one of the first games to come out on the Wii U. All right.
I did love that game, man. The issue is, in my opinion, there must-play games that came out on a system that not everybody owned, because they are amazing. Those games, their games are fantastic. My issue with it is, once again, like you said, the $60. I went to go pick up Resident Evil Revelations collection on the Switch. $60.
Mm-hmm.
The PlayStation 4 version of them games, which were both up converted to 4K, are $20 each. So that means to get the collection on the PlayStation 4, it is $40. The superior version. And then I spend $20 more to get it on the Switch. Which also requires an SD card, by the way. Why? So that I agree with you. The pricing on the Switch is really annoying me because every other game that re-releases a game gives you a discounted price.
Yes.
Sometimes it's a stupid discounted price. When the BioShock collection came out, it was $50 instead of $60.
Yeah.
Okay. Still $10 off. Now, for some reason, I'm buying these full-price games of re-release games.
Yeah.
And it really gets me annoyed because I'm definitely going to do it because the only way to play Bayonetta 2, again, is to have the Switch version. Because I love the first Bayonetta and I love Bayonetta 2. But all I had it on was the Wii U. Like I said, I couldn't play it on anything else.
I don't blame you. Yeah, I mean, I'm not paying $60 for it. I've never played them. But it just annoys me that this is a thing that's happening with the Switch, and that's why I'm not going to support that. You know what I mean? I don't even want to buy some of the games that come out on PS4 and Xbox One that are remastered that are $60 because I'm like, I can't. If I'm doing that, I'm telling them that it's okay. You know what I mean? Shadow of the Colossus got fully remastered, looks absolutely beautiful. It's only $40. That's okay to me. I'll pay $40. That's my
especially when they're adding bosses into it.
Yeah, like that to me is amazing. But when you're just giving me the same game again, it's like, no, I'm not okay with that.
My issue is Bayonetta 3 was announced with it, and it looks like it's a Nintendo exclusive as well.
It is. It is a Nintendo exclusive.
My issue is I know people online lost their mind that is a Switch exclusive, and people are pissed.
Well, it makes sense. I'm not mad about that.
I seen one guy talk about how ridiculous this is. This is why Bayonetta 2 suffered the way it was because blah blah. And in my opinion, the only reason we got Bayonetta 2 was because Nintendo paid for it. Yeah. So to me, okay, Bayonetta 2 was probably, I think, the second best-selling game on the Wii U. Which was a terrible selling system. So I guess in Nintendo's opinion, not only will this kill in sales, 3 will kill in sales, and our Switch is outselling our Wii U already.
Well, this is where I think it's really going to show because while Bayonetta 2 was the best-selling game, second best-selling game on a not very good selling system, now it's like now you got a really good selling system. Is this game going to meet those sales, or is it now finally going to show that this game really just has a niche audience? You know what I mean? And it does.
It really, like you said, you were absolutely right when you said it looked like a Devil May Cry knockoff. That's why I never played it. It really is.
Yeah.
It's a Devil May Cry knockoff for perverts. You know what I mean? And although I probably piss a lot of people off, although I do enjoy them games, I think they're really polished and really well done. They're nothing too groundbreaking, in my opinion. This is not a system seller. Nobody's going to go out of their way and buy a Switch for Bayonetta 3.
I agree.
You know?
And I think, I was saying that I was really hoping when they were making the announcement that it was going to be Beautiful Joe that was going to be announced. And so it was like, Beautiful Joe is such a niche game. Like, that's not really going to come back. I was like, Bayonetta is niche. It literally wouldn't have been a thing again if it wasn't for Nintendo. So don't sit here and tell me.
And that's what's funny. A lot of people don't realize that. And one of the reasons why Nintendo offered to pay for it was because it's one of the cheapest franchises they could get because it wasn't a groundbreaking. It wasn't a well selling franchise to begin with.
And it gave them a new game, and it's different than what Nintendo does.
Right.
You know, Nintendo doesn't have a Devil May Cry on their console.
And to be honest, Nintendo's probably not stupid. They probably saw that she was requested in Super Smash Brothers. Her amiibos are selling really, really well, so they're probably like, you know what, we'll pay for another one. Go ahead, throw another 3 out, you know?
Yeah.
My question is, you never played Bayonetta 2. It really doesn't leave it open for a sequel. So I'm
Do you think it's going to be a prequel? Because this is the only thing I picked up on. I don't know if you did. In the trailer, she looks more like she did in the first game than she did in the second game. Her hairstyle's back to the same that it was in the first.
I don't know. And even that, to me, that would be...
I feel like, though, then it would be comparing it even more to Devil May Cry. Oh, you had 2 games in a row where they were like one after the other. 2 is now the definitive ending, and you're going to go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have a 4th game that's in between the first...
I'm rather curious, but...
Except Devil May Cry still technically never ended.
Right.
2's ending isn't... It's still left it open.
God, it's so terrible.
Maybe we can get past it someday.
Yes.
Anyway,
So, what about 3? Will you give 3 a chance?
I'm not going to get 3 if I didn't play the other 2 personally. Right now, my stance on the collection, because I do kind of want it, is if it's less than 60, if it's 40, I'll get it. Because I don't even honestly want to pay 50 for it.
My issue is...
Or it's going to wait for a sale.
I'm going to pick it up for 60. I'm just really worried it's going to have that SD card required on it, and I'm going to be furious.
Yeah. Becoming reality, man. You know what's funny? Nintendo is slowly making it so that their own console is more digital than the other consoles that are out.
So, while we're on the subject of trailers, another trailer dropped today, or at the Video Game Awards.
Yes. Now this one, I really liked, but a lot of people seem mixed on it.
Well, okay, let's take ourselves out of the fanboy. Would we have liked the trailer as much
if it wasn't Kojima?
Yes.
I think I still would have liked it because it still did very much intrigue me. I understand what people are saying. They have no idea what's going on. But right. You know what? That's part of... We
still don't know what the gameplay looks like either.
We don't. Apparently that might be shown at PSX, though, which is going on today right now, and it's going on again tomorrow. So we don't know. Maybe that's why they didn't show gameplay at the awards, because the awards was just Thursday. Mm. So, you know, maybe they were trying to hold off and wait. But
the trailer was still terrifying.
The trailer was terrifying. And what I will say is I get people being annoyed that they don't know what it's about. But isn't that part of, like, the thrill? Like, isn't that...
Absolutely.
That's what I personally love about it, is that I don't know what's going on, and that I have these theories, and that now I'm waiting for the game to come out so I can see, oh my god, was I right? Oh man, I'm probably way off. Like, what I think it probably is, Kojima probably smoked a blunt and was like, this is my dream.
Yes. Bag babies. That's right. You know...
Norman Reedus has a baby in his throat, okay? That's weird.
Oh, yeah. I go back to the trailer for Metal Gear Solid 4, and you should remember this too. That trailer was so everywhere and chopped up, you had no idea what that game was about. I remember one part of the trailer, you've seen Revolver just going pa 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 pa, and like explosions, and then what was it? You've seen Old Snake turn into New Snake. You've seen Johnny, and it's like, what is going on? And once you get the game, it all makes sense.
Yes,
you know what I mean. So trailers, like you said, are really difficult. I think the fact that his name is Kojima, he can release whatever he wants. And
I don't know, because a lot of people that aren't... I think the problem is right now, a lot of people that aren't Kojima fans don't have an interest in the game. Whereas I think you and me, we do have a high interest in it. And I'm trying to say personally that I do think that even if I wasn't a Kojima fan, I do think I would be interested. Just because I need to know what it is.
Yes.
Personally. But...
It does look incredible. So I'm just real curious, just to see, we'll go back in a year, see if we were anywhere near right. What do you think the game's about?
Okay.
Because the trailer, you see a body and there's invisible hand, feet monsters, and Norman Reedus and a baby.
Now, the one guy got old rapidly fast. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yes, I did.
Now, I think what happens is if you don't have a baby attached to you, although Norman Reedus didn't either. Oh man, there goes that theory already. I think those creatures, though, while they're close by, cause you to rapidly age unless you have something, whether it's the suit or what. Because, his suit could have been punctured from the vehicle falling on top of him.
Okay.
I don't necessarily know. Now, I'm curious if because that happens, though, humans now have had to make babies instead of, them just being born. That's why everyone kind of looks like they're carrying one in every trailer that we've seen. We've seen a child, because maybe now they're actually being manufactured instead of being born, because of these creatures. If something goes wrong, a whole population can go down if something comes up.
Right.
And there's really no way to, other than the machines, I saw no indication of knowing that one is nearby. Except the handprints when they're moving.
Yeah.
But
that little...
yeah, but that's what I mean. But if that machine isn't there...
Well, you could see a silhouette in the fog.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you can. You're right. You are right.
And that's what kind of made me think, because it looked like handprints.
But do you think they
in
can
the ground.
float?
I don't know. I don't know what they are.
I don't
Because you see the part where Norman Reedus' character is backing up, and you see a silhouette in the fog. But like I said, their footprints look like hands.
They do, but they kind of looked a little exaggerated. Like the fingers are kind of longer and stuff. Yeah.
So it was coming at him, and then he was like, and then that guy screamed right at the right time. And it's like, oh, I'm just gonna move over here. So obviously, and then they both said, "Don't breathe," and it was like not till that guy made a noise that it went and attacked him. So maybe they hunt by sound. I don't know what they are.
I don't know if they even have a head, because remember that big one that he sees. Puts something, looks like it's down its neck, and then it explodes, and then you just see Norman Reedus naked fumbling,
and a baby in his throat.
Do you think you're constantly reborn?
I don't know. I think when this game comes out, it will obviously make sense.
I hope so. Maybe it won't. It took a while for Metal Gear to make sense.
You're right. People. This could be a start of a franchise, so this might be like, what? At the end... You see the baby in his throat, but the baby opens up and it's Norman Reedus in the baby's throat, butt naked. Overall, though, I'm excited about this game. This does look a little more in-engine, this trailer.
Yes.
So
it didn't look as polished as some of the other trailers we saw.
So I do think this is a little more what the game is going to actually look like. I'm excited about it. Now, the technology looked really mixed in it, but the handgun he does hold up at the end looks very modern.
Yes.
So,
you know what's really weird, though? In the other trailer with Guillermo del Toro's character, everything looked very World War II-esque.
Yes. And
very old-fashioned. So I'm kind of confused.
Then you see the trailer with, what's-his-face from Hannibal, with all the people connected to him.
Mads. Apparently, his role is going to be very different than what we thought, and I thought he was going to be a villain, so he might not be a villain. We might have multiple characters you can play as.
I'm excited for this game.
Me too.
Because potentially, to me, this is a new start of Metal Gear, in another universe.
And you know what else I really like about it, though? It's different.
It is different.
Nothing else is like it. And
there's a baby in a bag.
In a world where we get a lot of the same and people complain about that.
Same first persons, same open world, same this and that, you know what I mean?
And people complain about that all the time. It bothers me that we're getting something different, and once again... people are complaining.
Oh, people will complain no matter what,
I
man.
know. I know.
People will complain.
You can hope. Another game that we saw was GTFO. It was a 4-player co-op game. Kind of had some spooky horror elements to it. I didn't think it was anything amazing.
The thing that got me most excited about it, and I hate to be this guy, is it's made by the developers that made Payday?
Yeah, Payday 2.
And I do like that franchise. Payday?
Yes. The candy bar?
No. The game, the mask, and then you fight in, and you like the cops and stuff. Want to hit you in the mouth sometimes with a closed fist. So, I would have to see more on this game. Do you think it's going to be a multiplayer only game? Do you think it's going to be a limited small release like Payday was? Because that's not a full retail game.
I really hope. So here's what I'm saying. I do think it's going to be a small game. I think it's going to be multiplayer only. I hope it's not $60. I hope they do something smart. Maybe make it either free to play, where you're paying for cosmetics and things like that, because that is very popular right now, or make it like a $20 game or a $40 game, and you just release map packs every so often.
That's a good idea.
I think that would be cool. Because you know what I do think we're kind of missing is that Left 4 Dead type game.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? And
you remember when Left 4 Dead came out, too?
Yes.
That was the fun time.
And that's what this reminds me of when I was watching it. A lot of people were saying, oh, it didn't do anything for me. It didn't do anything for me either in the sense of, like, man, that looks amazing. But it was like, this looks like something that could be a lot of fun with my friends. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm up one night, it's like, yo, you guys want to play something? Yeah, sure. All right, let's just hop on this. It's mindless fun. It's not something
I
you really
agree
have
with
to
you on
think
that.
about.
I haven't had like a lot of fun playing a multiplayer game since Rainbow Six Vegas or Crackdown or Left 4 Dead. You know what I mean? They kind of got rid of that big multi. Like, yeah, we got Overwatch, we got Destiny, but we haven't had that like cooperative.
A lot of it now is always versus multiplayer.
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, as much as I love killing kids on the internet, I really just want to like. Sometimes I just want to play a game with my friends and not have to worry about, oh my god, this guy's sitting in a corner camping the whole time. Like,
besides that, like, as much as I love Borderlands, I got a thing for Borderlands. I go hard for
you
it.
got a boner border.
I got a boner for Borderlands. You can literally finish that game with or without people.
Border boner.
And there's never that essential, like, don't leave a man behind kind of thing in Borderlands, where it was like that in Crackdown and Rainbow and Left 4 Dead. Like, I remember, I'll never forget this. I was playing with Tiger one day. It was me, Ryan, Tiger, and Tiger got left. And we took off in the helicopter after him. We felt bad, man. He was sitting right next to us, but we're like, we're sorry, man. You got taken down by the tank. I don't know what to tell you, man. We're sorry. But there was that thrill about it,
Yeah. And I was kind of hoping for that again in the game Evolve, where it was one person plays as the monster, 4 people are the hunters, but it didn't quite feel that way, and I think it's because, like, one person has to be the monster, so it feels like, it's 4-on-1,
Yeah.
whereas I really just want 4 guys against, like, an army of monsters and things.
But no, I agree. That would be something really, really fun, man.
So in a year where we got so many great fighting games coming out, looks like we're going to have another one coming out next year. Soul Calibur 6.
Soul Calibur, keep making them. Put the sword down. It's over.
Is your soul burning?
It's just...
What do you think? Did you see it?
I did not watch the trailer for this one. I'm actually not trying to do anything until they announce something substantial about the game. Like
Okay.
A character pack, anything like that. So I'm trying
Or like if each console's going to have an exclusive
Yeah.
character. I can understand that.
I have not played a Soul Calibur. The last one I played was the one with Vader and Yoda.
Okay. I played. Oh, I did play. The last one I played was the last one, which had Ezio in it. But I do want to see who the special guest character is. They have always done one since 2.
Yes.
So we'll see who they have. But it's weird to me because they showed off the characters, but they look younger. Mitsurugi looks exactly the same as Mitsurugi from the first game. So I'm curious. I'm curious if this is going back in time or what. But...
Well, I mean, it might be a jump because that franchise has really ran its course, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
well, like... I know someone new is behind this one. He did help with Tekken 7, and he learned a lot from Tekken 7. He says that he's bringing over to Soul Calibur.
Okay. I don't want Soul Calibur to start feeling like a Street Fighter franchise.
Yeah.
My biggest issue with Street Fighter is technically, I think Street Fighter 3 is still the farthest we got storyline wise, and the like 4 and 5 still take place before 3.
Yeah.
Which will drive me insane. But I also feel like that franchise is kind of peaked. You know what I mean? Where Mortal Kombat keeps making itself relevant. So I don't want to feel that way about Soul Calibur. Probably why I haven't played it in a long time. But nothing in the games ever really stood out to me like, I have to try this fighting game out. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
I'm kind of worried that we're going to get a situation where I pick it up on day 1 because they did something cool, like add a story mode in it, and then I get another Marvel versus Capcom story mode.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
The worst voice acting I've ever heard.
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah. Evil Within 2 and that one are neck to neck.
No, I think Marvel vs. Capcom is a little worse than Evil Within 2,
Yeah.
but
I'm put it this way. I bought the $90 edition with the character still not out for it, and I traded it in, and I don't feel bad.
Wow.
Yes, I don't even get to play those
The
characters.
last 3 characters just came out, too.
I don't care.
Last thing. Metro. They came out with a new trailer for Metro Exodus. It really didn't show too much we haven't already seen. No gameplay. It was literally just an actual trailer this time. Still looking good. I'm excited for it, but I was a little disappointed that we just didn't see more gameplay or a trailer that kind of showed us something we haven't felt like we've seen.
In it, yeah. I feel like though, how much more can you do in a game like that? You know what I mean? And those decision-based games are so difficult because there's so many different kinds out there. Telltale's has the market on that right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're trying to take it back for them. Because be honest, everybody played Heavy Rain. You know what I'm saying?
No, Metro, not Detroit.
That's what I said. Rewind that, buddy. Talking about the one with the monsters underground, Russia. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. What were you talking about?
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, right. It's Heavy Rain, great game. Anyway, back to Detroit.
Yeah, but the trailer didn't really show anything too new. I just was kind of hoping I would see something different. I do get what you mean though with Detroit, if that's what you would like to talk about.
I don't. Let's talk about Metro. Do you think? Because I am curious. I was wondering why you were talking about Detroit with Metro. Do you think it looks a little too much like Fallout?
In the sense that it's post-apocalyptic, sure. Yeah. But I think
even look-wise, you don't think it looks like because both times I've seen the trailer for that, I thought it was Fallout at first.
No, I have a little more respect for Metro than I do Fallout, because Metros actually can be a bit hard. You have to really ration your bullets. You really have to think about like your gas. You have to put your gas mask on, and if it gets cracked, you actually start to still get radiation. Whereas I feel like Fallout is Skyrim in a post-apocalypse.
I agree. I'm not talking about gameplays wise, but just
the look
wise. Yeah.
I can see it, but at the same time, I don't know. Like,
here's my worry about it.
Fallout, I always think of the 70s. I don't know why. I always think of like the olden times, because even the freaking robots that are futuristic in that look like the first microwaves that were ever built. It looks weird.
I played Metro. What was the pack that came out for PS4? It came with both games.
Redux. So that came with 2033 and Last Light.
I love them games, but in my opinion, I think they're never near as popular as the Fallout series.
Oh, I can 100%.
And what makes me worried is I feel like people are going to look at it like it's a ripoff of the Fallout series. Even though, in my opinion, it's better. Okay. They're great games. I really love them. They're scary, too.
They are.
They are terrifying. Without Jesse Williams, because he's in Detroit. Oh, God. Oh, you're not going to edit that out, are you?
No.
You're going to leave that right in there.
That's the choice I made.
I hate you. This is what happens when you take weeks off, man. I mix my games up.
I'm sorry.
Mike's going to never let me hear the end of this one.
No.
God, nope.
You're in Detroit.
So, you want to talk about Detroit?
If you want, we can.
I don't. I was so confused in the note. I'm sitting in front of the notes, and it's in front of my face. I see the word Metro, and I still, for whatever reason, was like, why does he want to talk about Detroit? There was no new trailer. Maybe I missed it. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to keep going. But I watched the trailer for Metro. That's the worst thing about it. Okay.
All right. Well, that will be it for the news.
I love you, man. Embarrassed.
This has been episode 51.
No pick for you?
Oh, we're getting to it.
Good.
Don't worry.
Good.
All right. But I wanted to talk about how this is our 1 year.
Has it been 1 year?
It's been 1 year.
Oh, man.
We only missed one episode last week. This should have been 52, but, you know, it's okay. I get it. Shit happens. No.
It does happen.
Sometimes we get stuck in these choices.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
Telltale owns us for those choices.
Shut your mouth.
We're going to take it back.
Dirty.
We're taking the choices
back. You're a dirty pirate hooker. Go back to your home on Whore Island.
You're a hooker. They're not hookers. They're massage therapists.
All right.
Anyway, I'm actually going to make my pick Metro Redux on the PS4 and Xbox One.
You sure you don't want to do Heavy Rain?
You know what? Let's make it a Telltale's game because they own the choice.
All right. That's actually a really good choice. I do.
I'm going to do that because you are right. They are games I do think not a lot of people play. Obviously, enough people played them for us to get a third game as well.
Well, they're re-releases of PC games, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No, the first one came out on PC originally, then it was ported to the PS3 and 360. The second game came out on console and PC at the same time, and this third one's going to come out on console and PC at the same time. What they are, they're based off of books, so that might be where you've seen it before because they are older books. They're written by a guy in Russia, and then they came over here.
Mother Russia.
Yes.
And so did Russia. Metro gets you. Choice makes you.
But if you haven't played the Metro games, I definitely would at least check them out if you have any.
The weapons are fun. The game.
They are.
And when it does, you remember the first one, where you're riding the train down, and the lights are going out and they're running at you. That part is so suspenseful.
It is.
So.
I would definitely check it out though. The weapons are really cool, and they're all like you could tell that they're like handcrafted,
duct taped together,
rubber bands.
So there's a gum wad almost on one.
You're just like I feel like this is gonna backfire, but I'll use it.
What's funny about that is, for being older games and re-released on the PS4, the worlds felt very alive.
Oh,
like the characters you walked around, like the underground bases and stuff like that.
Did you watch the strip? There's a trophy if you watch the whole show for the talent show. And it gets awkward because there's a stripper, so that's why I think they don't expect you to, but I got that trophy.
Good for you, man.
Watched it all. Just like in South Park where you watch your parents have sex for a minute. I did it.
What was the trophy if you get, and the darkness, where you sit down with, what was your girl's name in that?
Oh my god, I don't know.
Where you sit down and watch the movie with her long enough, it gives you, like, good guy trophy or something like that.
God, I want to play the darkness again.
Oh, man.
Why did you do that?
Jenny? What's her name?
I don't know. I know he was Jackie, though.
Jackie, yep.
Jackie's the guy. But,
Darkness.
the only problem I ever had with the darkness was that Darkness and Prey came out around the same time. And Jackie and the main character in Prey looked so similar.
They're not the same guy all the time.
And the only difference is one's an Indian and one's Italian.
Yeah.
But it just bothered the crap.
Well, Jackie was adopted, so he could have been Indian.
You're right.
Yeah,
oh, snap. The darkness is prey before the prey. But yeah, definitely check out Metro. Anything else we want to say? Anything else we want to throw out there?
I'm really about this theory with Darkness and Prey now. Because remember, the original idea for Prey was every time you died, you're going to get recloned.
Oh, shit.
One of those clones ended up being Jackie, man.
Whatever happened to the darkness, man? They need to bring that back.
The second one didn't do as well as the first one.
Yeah, but they also went with like a really comic art style.
Cel-shaded.
Yeah, and I feel like back then it was looked down on a lot more than it is now.
Definitely.
Like look at Wind Waker, which was such an amazing game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think they should bring that back. I would love to see another take at the darkness,
Absolutely.
especially with the way that single player, like first person shooter storytelling is now.
And some of the executions you could get off in the first one.
Nice.
I remember you could go underneath with a gun and just like right through the top of their heads.
Yep. Or I also remember you could have your two shadow demons like grab one leg and the head and just rip them in half.
I love devouring people's hearts, and then the one would throw it up in the air, the other one snatch at it real quick. That was a fun game.
Yeah.
Re-release that, okay?
HD 4K.
Yep.
Make it happen. Hashtag darkness.
Hashtag darkness.
I also have been watching Atlanta, and I realized that I am a 35-year-old black male.
Good for you. Good for you. What episode did you get to?
I think I'm on 7 right now.
Did you get to the basketball game for charity yet?
With Justin Bieber?
I laughed so hard. I can't say, I don't want to ruin that episode, but I just love how they handled Justin Bieber in that. I think it was amazing.
I just want to let you guys hear my new single, Justice. Anyway, but this has been our 1-year episode 51. Really hope you guys liked it. We did have a lot to talk about. It's an hour and 23 minutes.
You're welcome.
The video for this, if you feel like watching the video cast, the beta for Monster Hunter World started today. I'm going to record some gameplay of that with probably some friends or maybe alone, depends on who's on. And just put that as the video for this soon. Hopefully that goes up relatively quick, maybe Sunday. But This has been episode 51 of The Enthusiast, and we are gone.
Peace.
Yes, good. Now you're getting it.